going on, guys? So welcome back to another Python tutorial. So in this video we will be learning how to call one function inside another function, and then also how to call one function inside itself, which is called as recursion. So if you're new to the channel and if you haven't subscribed yet, so make sure to go and subscribe and turn on the notification bell to remain updated whenever we post a new video. So recently we also started MySQL database videos in Hindi, so you can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. So that being said, let's get started with this video. So the way we call one function inside another function, so at least we need two functions. So the calling function and then the one that gets called. So for this, first define the one that will be called. In this case, let's name it add. So basically we will add two numbers and let's pass in a and b as the parameters. Now let's return the added value with return statement as a plus b. So this returned value gets stored in this function a plus b itself. Now let's write in the calling function. Let's name it start, and let's write two arguments, two parameters, so x and y. So these two parameters x and y of this start function now would act as the arguments of this add function, since we will be calling this add function inside of this start function. Let's write a variable result which will store the added result. Okay, so now let's call this add function and then let's pass in x and y as the parameters, arguments. I mean, my bad, I'm just messing up the order. And then all we need to do is print and then write the result. So our program is almost done. Now all we need to do is call the start function instead of this add function and then pass in any two numbers. Let's write 89 and then 97, and if we run, it should give us the added value 186. So that's how you call one function inside another. Okay, so now what is recursion? So recursion is basically when one function calls itself. So first let's define a function def, and let's call it greeting, and let's pass here times. So it's gonna print saying hello everyone, it's me, Hank. Okay, and then times equal to times minus 1. So basically what we're doing is we're just basically subtracting 1 from this times. And then if times is not equal to 0, so if this is not equal to 0, what we want to do, we want to print saying, not print, we want to call this greeting function again. So I spelled this greeting wrong here, so it should be, yeah, this greeting. And then here this time would be this times, and yeah, if this is equal to 0, then we want to print saying thank you. Okay, now let's call this function greeting and then let's pass here 3, and if we run, it says hello everyone, it's me Hank 3 times, and then the fourth time basically, which is when 3 becomes equal to 0, so it prints thank you. Okay, so I've spelled here thank wrong. So yeah, that's basically it for the recursion. Now let's do a simple program. So what we're gonna do, we want to get a number from the user, and then depending on that number we want to get the sum starting from 1 through that number. So we want to build a program which gives the sum of n numbers, n terms. So for that, first let's define a function, let's call it add. So it takes in two parameters. First, store. So this basically will be a variable which will go on storing all the values, and then the nth term, so the nth number which the user would pass. So what we want to do, each time this function gets called, we want to store this n value inside this store function. So store equal to store plus n. Okay, and then we want to subtract n by 1, and then we're going to write if n is not equal to 0. If it's not equal to 0, then what we want to do, we want to call this add function again and pass in this same store. Now this store would be the updated one, so which would have this n added to it, and then here we want to write this updated n. This n would be the one less than it started with. And yeah, now if this is equal to 0, okay, if n is equal to 0, now what we want to do, we want to return this store value. Okay, all right, so we're basically done. Now let's get the value from the user, and input, and then enter the number. All right, we have the number, and then for the store argument, let's write here sum, and then now let's call this def function. So def, not def, we write here add, and then sum would be the one, and then here would be user. So now if we run, first it asks for the nth term. So if I write here 9, it should give the added sum from 1 through 9, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and so on till 9. So if I print, why is not okay, so instead of writing return, I should have return row here store. So now it's gonna print the store. Okay, and if I write here 9, it should give us 45. Let's rerun, enter the number. If I write here 107, and if I hit enter, it says 5778. So yeah, that's it for the recursion. So hope you guys liked the video. So if you liked it, please drop a like, and so yeah, thanks for watching.